Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Finance, Budget, and Personnel Committee for Tuesday, April 16th. Are there any potential conflicts of interest? Seeing none. Citizens' comments. Citizens' comments. Last time, citizens' comments. All right. Door is shut on that. Number 4, consent agenda. Minutes of the March 19th, 2024 meeting, bills and payroll, monthly position control report, report of personnel actions, Treasury reports November 2023 through January of 2024. Is that a motion to approve, Ed?
To approve.
Do I have a second by
I'll
Andrew?
second.
All those in, any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, like sign. Seeing none. We will skip over number 5 because there were no items removed. Number 6, request to recommend council approval to refill vacant police officer position presented by Police Chief Jody Goering. Jody, the floor is yours. You're welcome. Jody, can you turn on your mic? Oh, sorry. I don't know.
Sounds like it's better now. Okay. All right. You may remember I talked a meeting or two ago about we had a detective that resigned from our department and went to the private sector, which left a vacancy that we weren't planning on. And I guess if I'm speaking honestly, I didn't want. He was an excellent officer, Detective Rockley Gross. But we wish him luck. But with him leaving, we do have a vacancy in our department. We did get approval from the Police and Fire Commission on April 11th to move forward with the hiring process, which brings me in front of this body to, again, hopefully approve and bring forward to the Common Council to hire one more police officer. This would bring us up to full staff, so we're not adding any staff. It's just to bring us up to full.
Thank you. Any questions? Is there a motion? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, like sign? Seeing none, that is approved.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Number 7, request to recommend council approval to reallocate 4 hours from a substitute librarian to another part-time staff member, presented by Jill Porter, Library Director. Jill.
Thank you. So as you see from my memo, we used to have a small pool of substitute librarians. They were either staff members who had worked the information desks in the past and had retired and just wanted to pick up a few hours here and there, or we hired librarians who worked elsewhere like Claudia Noonan had, and they just wanted to pick up some extra hours. And since this time, the pool's really shrunk down. We're down to 1 person now. And what we would like to do is allocate the 4 hours that we had set aside for Claudia to Kennard Herfel, who's been with us for several months. And it does bring about an increased cost because he'll be at 24 hours per week. And that increased cost will be for the Wisconsin retirement system. Our budget is currently quite a bit under because we're understaffed right now. And so this would be something that we could easily cover with our existing budget. So I'd like your approval to transfer those or reallocate those 4 hours to Kennard.
All right. Thank you, Jill. Questions from the committee? Natasha?
Do you think this will be a problem next year for your budget, or do you think your budget will have enough wiggle in it to accommodate that?
Oh, it should be fine. We're losing people.
Do you have a motion?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
So I have a motion by Brian, a second by Andrew. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, like sign? Seeing none. That passes.
Thank you.
9, request to recommend council approval to revise Assistant City Administrator / Community Development Director position to Community Development Director. I skipped number 8, but I'll go right back up to that, darn it. Request. It is good to have someone watching your back, isn't it? Number 8, request to recommend council approval for recruitment of a senior planner, presented by Sarah Dressel, Human Resources Director. Sarah.
Thank you. So in the memo that was provided, a lot of this work to get this before you tonight actually was done by Carrie, who was the Assistant City Administrator, Community Development Director. She pulled together a lot of really good information, a lot of good background regarding having a senior planner versus having a city planner, what, that would do as far as potential candidates. And overall, this is something that we had discussed with McGrath as well as a potential need when the compensation study was being looked at. The reason being that this really truly would be a position that could be a stepping stone maybe for if we were to hire a planner down the line, a position that they could move into, or in this case, we would be looking specifically for someone with much more experience in the planning area. So with that, we are recommending that Finance, Budget, and Personnel Committee recommend Common Council approval of the job description and filling the vacancy of the senior planner position. And one thing to note, we did provide just the basic job description to McGrath just for a preliminary look, no cost, just to see if the changes to the city planner position were enough to meet what she had looked at when she was costing out a senior planner position. She felt like it was in line and would not need to be through the more formal process, which there is a cost to. So definitely wanted to point that out as well. And I'll take any questions you might have.
Thank you, Sarah. Yes, Ed?
Okay, you've got, are you using an existing job description that we had or one that's been slightly modified?
So what Carrie had started with was using the city planner position and then went through and looked for the pieces that would really kind of elevate it to that senior planner position.
So what this looks like now is you're going to have your director and your senior planner. Is there anybody under that?
So potentially the zoning administrator / ordinance enforcement officers could go under that senior planner. The planner.
Well, that's the question then. Mm-hmm. The question is, are you changing the reporting line or the line of authority and appointment from what it was when Carrie was recruited, or are we doing something different?
So the senior planner would report to the community development director, which we'll be talking about next, which in the past would have been Harry. And then the senior planner position would have potentially the zoning administrator enforcement officers reporting to them.
Potentially. Did it have it when you recruited Carrie?
No, because we didn't have a senior planner position.
You had a planner position, though, didn't you?
We had a city planner position.
But he had no reporting responsibility?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
No wonder.
Brian, did you have a question?
No.
Oh, okay. Would somebody like to make a motion or?
I move to approve this position.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, there you go. All right, now we're gonna really do number 9. Request to recommend council approval to revise Assistant City Administrator / Community Development Director position to Community Development Director, and to also authorize recruitment for this position, presented again by Sarah Dressel, Human Resources Director. Sarah.
Thank you. So with the recent resignation, we did take a deep dive look at what should be done next with the role. In talking, with Steve and also with GovHR, and then really looking at the position and the needs of the department, that is where, and listening obviously to Common Council as well, that's where this position has really kind of come about. So the idea behind this would be that it would be a director level position similar to what was previously called the Development Services Director position. Calling it Community Development Director because I think previously Mr. Wagner had pointed out that I think that was what positions had been called in previous locations. I think it probably better suits the knowledge that it would also include economic development in there. So what we did is looked at the previous positions. We looked at the job description for the Development Services Director. And as you'll see in the attached job description, there were some slight changes, some modifications to where job duties were located, along with just a little bit better clarity in language. And then also an update in the education piece, and also in the experience piece. So outside of that, this position then would oversee the Development Services Group, which would include, and actually it would include the planning side of things, so the senior planner that was just approved. It would be the inspectors, so that would include the inspection supervisor, and then the 2 inspectors that we have, the admin permit specialist, and then the zoning administration / ordinance enforcement officer. So it would encompass supervision of that entire group. So with that, I would recommend that the Finance, Budget, and Personnel Committee recommend Common Council approval of the job description and filling the vacancy of the Community Development Director position. One thing to note is GovHR did try to assist us previously, obviously, in filling the Assistant City Administrator position. They, per contract, do have the intention of continuing to try to fill a position. So they would be working on this specific position moving forward. So I'll answer any questions you might have.
All right, thank you. Any questions? Anybody willing to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second for approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? That passes.
Thank
We
you.
are an agreeable group tonight. 10, suggested items for future agendas. Anybody? No? All right, with that, we are adjourned.